Students, I am here with another lesson. So today my lesson is a poem written by Gieve Patel, and this is in higher secondary syllabus. So it's my call to the students of class 11, class of 12, who are going to appear in the next higher secondary exam that will be held in 2021. Should make themselves ready to watch this video, and this video will draw benefits to them. This will help you to comprehend their lesson. So let's go into the lesson. Before that, I want to add something here. The students of DAV school, those who are reading in class 9, they will also go through this poem in their syllabus. So they may also get help from it, from my video. So the name of the poem is On Killing a Tree by Gieve Patel. On Killing a Tree by Gieve Patel. Gieve Patel is a prominent Indian writer writing in English. He was not a student of literature. He was a medical practitioner, but he had a fascination to write his own feelings, his personal views through poems, but his tone of poem is very flat, very casual. No exaggeration is there. Today I have the book Mindscape. So here I have already opened the page. On Killing a Tree by Gieve Patel. So first of all, I read out the first few lines that has been written here. Gieve Patel, 1940, is a renowned Indian poet, playwright and painter. In his poetry, Patel uses a syncopated rhythm. He brings the flavor of everyday speech in his poetry. Some of his notable works are Mirroring, How Do You Withstand Body, 1976. So, here from the introductory lines about the poet, we come to know that he was not a student of literature, but he had a fascination to writing, whatever. So this poem, On Killing a Tree, it is an ironical poem. What is irony? Irony is a figure of speech or is the use of a language where the speaker expresses but it means the different, it means the opposite. This poem is about the harm done to the environment by human beings. We all know that our earth is getting polluted day by day. And one of the major causes of this rising pollution is deforestation. Man is cruel to nature. Trees are brutally cut down, indiscriminately cut down. Unmindful activities of mankind. Never think for their own destruction, that these trees are the integral part of nature. If we destroy these trees, our destruction will soon reach to us. But we, the human beings, forget this. Whatever. This poem is about the harm done to the environment by human beings in a voice of sarcasm and irony. Here we get two words, sarcasm and irony. These two words are the figure of speech. Irony is the use of language and sarcasm is also same, but irony only expresses the situation where the speaker means something and it hints or it refers to the opposite one. But in sarcasm, there is an witty attack, a scathing attack, a degradatory attack in sarcasm. Sarcasm is the form of expression where irony is used. So, from this point of view, we come to know that this poem is an ironical poem. It means what the poet says here, he wants to mean the opposite. On killing a tree, we must discuss the title, but before that, complete it. The poet speaks of man's violence and impatience towards nature. Man's unmindful act, indiscriminate cutting of trees, his selfish attitude to nature. His is ironically hinted here. And the last line, the poem is written in free verse. Verse. What is verse? A single line of poetry with rhythmic pattern. But what is free verse? Free verse means verse without meter and rhyme. Without meter and rhyme. And you will come across also blank verse. In blank verse, a meter is also there. A consistent meter is there, iambic pentameter in blank verse. But no rhyme is there. Chando. But in free verse, no meter, no rhyme. Okay. So why should we know this? Because we have upgraded to class 12 and we must know about some figure of speech. Because every poet or poetess presents a poem with a background, and there is also a message underneath. Now come to the title, On Killing a Tree. Already I have told you that it is an ironical poem. So, it, as usual, it does not refer to a casual happening, though it seems so. On killing a tree, the word kill is not generally used to mean this type of happening. We generally use the word fell, cut. So here the poet deliberately uses this word to show the brutal attack of the human beings, the cruelties of human beings who are selfish, greed, and never think for others. So, on killing a tree. So this poem includes 4 stanzas. This poem includes 4 stanzas, and first 2 stanzas exposes how a tree is grown up, avoiding all the brutal attacks, all the offenses done by the humankind. And last 2 stanzas depict how a tree is made lifeless. The poet acknowledges that it is not an easy task, easy process, easy way to make a tree or to make a tree lifeless. It is a lengthy procedure. It is a long procedure. But here, the act of cutting tree is presented in a way as if a ceremonial happening is going here. As if it is a ceremony. As if it is an act of festivity. So it is the irony. The poet attacks the human's heart to ooze out his morality. Now starts the first stanza. It takes much time to kill a tree. The poet submits to say that to make a tree lifeless or to draw the full destruction of a tree is a long process. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. Not a simple jab of the knife. Only a stroke of knife will not make a tree lifeless. Will not assure the destruction of a tree. Not a simple jab of knife. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air and water, and out of its leprous hide sprouting leaves. How it grows? It grows taking the nutrients of the earth. It has developed itself, its branches, its leaves, its larger size by sucking the nutrients of the earth. And from the earth crust surface layer, that is hard, it rises, sucking the nutrients of the earth or consuming the nutrients of the earth. It rises and takes a bigger size. What are the nutrients? Air, sunlight, water. It sucks these ingredients to fix itself on the ground. And out of its leprous hide means skin, leprous. Here symbolically, leprous refers to the damaged and scratched portion of a scratched bark of a tree or area of a tree. Leprous. Leper is a disease, leprosy. And the person who is suffering from leprosy is called leper. So leper is a person who is suffering from leprosy. It is a disease that gradually wears our skin. So it is a very harmful disease. But here, leprous, the word leprous is used to make an attack on the human beings. So you find all these medical terms: jab, knife, hide, leprous, and all these terms, words, are generally related to human world. The poet has deliberately used these words to hint the attack, to target the human beings, that you are the responsible for destroying this natural world, natural kingdom. And out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves, new leaves sprout out, new leaves rises. It also hints the helplessness of human beings. A person who is suffering from leprosy, that damaged area of the skin will not again healed up. He will not get his finger or toe or hand where already the disease has affected or spread. But the tree has the capability to sprout new leaves from there, new twigs, and again it takes the size of the previous one. So this is the irony. So in the first stanza, the poet tells us about the long process to make a tree lifeless. Tells us only one stroke will not assure its death. Says us how a tree grows up, consuming the nutrients from the earth crust. Tells us about the scratched, withered bark from where new twigs arrive again. So metaphorically, it hints an attack on the human beings. The person who is suffering from leprosy, the affected skin area, or limb has to be amputated, whereas the tree has the capability to heal it itself. And from that damaged portion, from that affected area, new twigs, new branches arrive. Next danger. So hack and chop, but this alone would not do it. Hack, heavy blow. Chop, cut into pieces. Even we gives it a heavy blow. We cut it to pieces. Yet we cannot assure its death. Whatever pain, not so much pain will do it. Whatever pain we deliver to it, we give it by cutting it down and lying on the ground. Even that situation, a tree has the capability to rise again, to sprout new twigs from that cut jutted portion. The bleeding bark will heal. Again, the word related to human world, bleeding, because human bleeds. Trees do not bleed because they cannot respond back. We, the human beings, feel them as a lower standard. We neglect them. We refuse to accept them as an integral part of nature. We think we are the Almighty. We are the prominent figures of the nature. But it is not true. The bleeding bark will heal. Again, the scratched portion, the affected area of the tree will heal automatically. And from close to the ground, the tree has been cut down. From the ground, no branch, nothing is there. Only the root is hidden inside the earth. And the ground level stem. From that area, a tree will again develop. From close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, curled, circled, twisted. New twigs, new tender leaves will arise from there, suggesting its life, suggesting its tolerance, suggesting its victory. Will rise called green twigs means two tender leaves, miniature bough, small branches, small twigs will appear after a few days, and which if unchecked will expand again to former size. And if that twig rises without undisturbed, it will take the former size again. So it is the power of tolerance. It is the victory that human beings fail to realize. They think that we cut down a tree and we defeat. We are the victorious person. But it is true. It is true. No, it is false. The tree achieves the victory because from its zero level it again takes the former size. So in these two stages, you find few suggestive words: hack, chop, bleeding. So these words related to human world. These words also suggest the violence, the brutal act of human beings, the cruelties of human beings on the part of nature. So the first two stages suggest how a tree grows up. Tolerating the disturbance, the cruelties, the violent attacks of human beings. It also shows the resilience of the tree, how it fixes once again in the ground, taking all the blows inside it. In the third stanza, no, the word no suggests even doing all these hacking, chopping, making it bleed, cut it down from the ground level, the human being cannot assure its death, its complete destruction. No, it means no, you have failed to do so. You are not at the point of victory. No. And in the third and fourth stanza, what is depicted here? In the third and fourth stanza, last two stanzas, here the poet narrates how a tree is made lifeless, what to be done to draw the complete destruction of a tree. So what is the procedure? Let's read. First, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. The root is to be pulled out. The root, the most sensitive portion, so long it is hidden inside the earth, it has the ability or capability to rise if unchecked, to take the former size, to get itself out, its nutrients. The root is to be pulled out. It is the most vital portion with which a tree fixes itself on the ground, firm. Out of the anchoring earth, here is a metaphor. Anchor. The ship's anchors near the shore, with which, with an iron angle, fixes it on the ground. Similarly, the tree fixes itself in the ground with its root. So, first, the root it has to be uprooted. It has to be exposed. The root has to be exposed. It is to be roped. Then it is to be roped, tied, and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely. To uproot the tree, it is to be roped, tied, and pulled out or snapped out. Pulled out entirely. The root has to be uprooted. No remaining portion will be there. So, this suggests you need to uproot. You need to expose the sensitive part of the tree, that is root, out of the earth cave. Earth cave, again there is a metaphor. Cave, the word cave is a shelter place where animals take shelter. Here cave refers to the underground, under the ground where root fixes itself. So a tree has to be uprooted with all its root. No remaining will be there. When it is done, the strength of the tree exposed. The strength, who is called the strength? The root is called the strength of a tree. So long it is in the ground, inside the earth, it has the life. It may take the challenge to rise up. The source white and wet. Again, the root is described here. It is the source of water. It is the source of life. It is wet because it is hidden inside the earth. It is white because it is hidden from the sunlight. That's why it is white. And it is wet because it is a source of, it always sucks water. It absorbs water. That's why it is wet. It holds water. It contains water. It is also called source. The strength of a tree. It is called most sensitive part, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. Years after years, it expands, it stretches itself inside the ground, inside the earth. Then the matter of scorching and choking. Then you need to burn it, under the sun. Scorching and choking, you need to choke it. No drop of water will be there. Even if you expose the tree, expose the root, it may again sprout new leaves, new twigs, if it is laid with the contact of nature. No drop of water will be there. It need to be seasoned, completely dried up. Scorching and choking in air, sun and air. Browning and hardening. Again, browning and hardening. It needs to be seasoned. Twisting and withering. All these process, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, all these suggest to draw the water, the drop of water. Then it is done, and then it is done, and it is the consolation. It is done. The process of making a tree lifeless is successful. Is successful. So the way the tree is made lifeless is presented here as if it remains a ceremonial task. So here Gieve Patel ironically presents the poem, the theme of the content of the poem, to shows the violence nature of human beings, the unmindful act of the human beings. The neglect of the human beings. So read out the lesson. On the next day we shall discuss the areas and questions which are very much important to us, and we need to know much more about this. Thank you. Stay well, be well.